NASA wanted to test a pretty funky-looking spacecraft. It has been termed a UFO. It's essentially a flying saucer. This is was supposed to be tested this weekend. Unfortunately, weather ruined it. It will be tested again in a few days. But it's actually not so much to get off the Earth, but to actually land on other planets. So this is a new way of landing on, we hope, ultimately Mars.
So this is a new spaceship?
Yeah, this is the final part that essentially slows down the craft that will take us to Mars, take humans to the surface.
Okay.
The problem with Mars is it's very thin atmosphere. It's as less dense to our atmosphere as our atmosphere is to water. So when you have a parachute, it's something you want to hopefully slow you down as you careen into this Martian atmosphere. You need just ridiculously sized parachutes, and even testing them becomes a problem. There's nowhere on Earth quite as horrendous as Mars in terms of its lack of atmosphere.
It'd be tough.
So you go almost to the edge of space, as we see here, and essentially where our atmosphere peters out, and that's about the equivalent of Mars. So this is why NASA is launching this funny-looking spacecraft all the way up there, and we'll drop it from a height of 55 kilometers. It will hurtle towards the Earth, and it'll test out this system of a new parachute and an inflatable donut ring.
It does look like a donut, doesn't it?
Yeah, look, there's a lot of... I think they could have done better on the PR stunt on this. I think Homer should have been involved at some point to sell this, but this is the only way we're going to get humans to land safely on Mars, so it's great we're doing it now.
Hey, Alan, now, apparently Pluto's moons are in a bit of disarray at the moment. What's the story there?
Yeah, so this is all build up for New Horizons. We've got the spacecraft hurtling past Pluto. We've been looking very carefully that we're not about to collide with another moon. All of those telescopes pointed at Pluto has let us see this incredible sight. This is...
That's not a round object.
No, this is one of Pluto's moons, Nix. It's about 70 kilometers across. It's a cigar-shaped moon. And it's rocking, tumbling in space, pulled by the gravity of Pluto and its major moon, Charon. Just like with unbalanced dumbbells, you sort of get this, it'll tumble out of your hand. The same thing is happening to this little moon.
Can you imagine what day and night is like on that planet? It'd just drive you insane.
No,
Some went down, oh, it just went up. No, went down again. Oh, went up again.
That's
That
exactly
was
it.
a short day. Oh, where's night gone?
Well, some days the sun would rise from the east, set in the west. Next day it would flip. It would be from the North Pole. It would make a mockery of...
And also you get seasick on that planet as well.
Yeah,
I get a little bit seasick watching it even. But it would make a mockery of your north-south facing sort of prices for your gardens, right? So this is just another reminder. Pluto is a weird place and well worth studying.
How common is it to have ovoid-shaped planets?
Above a certain size, the gravity of a moon, and we can see Charon in the bottom right, just a little sliver of it.
Yep.
When you get a few hundred kilometers across, your gravity begins to be enough to pull you into a sphere.
I see.
But yeah, most objects are actually not spheres in this world. They're funny-looking shapes, like these cigar shapes.
How amazing.
Hey, and there's developments on the Hadron Collider as well this morning.
Yeah.
We like the Hadron Collider.
I love the Hadron Collider.
This is, look, it's the epitome of mad scientists working together, doing amazing things. This is a 27-kilometer ring deep under Geneva in Switzerland, firing together bunches of atoms at energies that are essentially that of a colliding high-speed train, but just focused on a few atoms, just impossible scales. Why we're excited? It finally got the refit, a 2-year refurb after finding the Higgs boson, the so-called God particle, and it's now back and better than ever, and we now have a laundry list of things to do with it. It's
kind of the perfect nerd tool because, as you say, it's weird science at its, most extreme, but also it involves banging things together as well, which every kid loves.
Look, most scientists are just big kids at heart, and that is the ultimate toy.
You must be very pleased to see that science has been so well recognised in the Queen's Birthday Honours today. A number of key scientists have been made companions.
I didn't even see it. So
yeah, really great. So I can just take up a little bit of your segment to tell you.
But your time will come, Alan.
It will be. It will be eventually. Professor Stephen Vincent Lynch, through liver transplantation that he's done. Professor Stephen Simpson, who's done a lot of research in metabolic disease. Also, Professor Nathan Ephron, clinical optometry. Professor Judith Ann Clements, biological sciences, and Professor Kim Anderson, agricultural economics as well.
Oh, wow. Look, it's fantastic. This is a a time where science just has to become more important. The challenges we face, we need more science, more technology, not less.
Not fewer, yeah.
So it's great to see that awarded.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Let's finish up with this story about tubes of plasma.
Oh, well, speaking of a potential future
the
recipient of one of these, this is a discovery by an undergraduate, Cleo Liu.
Yeah.
This is a using the giant Australian telescope, the Murchison Wide Field Array, looked into the sky and seen these giant plasma tubes that stretch high up into the ionosphere, and we didn't think, we had no idea that they were there.
What are plasma tubes? Let's not all assume we know what that
is. They're the giant columns, if you like, tubes of magnetic field that lie high up in the atmosphere. We can see this rippling pattern you get. This is what happens to the background stars or the galaxies that you're looking at. You see these funky little ripples. That's actually from the data.
So it's the magnetic field that surrounds a planet organising itself into tubes. Why?
Yep.
How?
Oh, well, we don't know how yet, but we didn't even know that these things existed until
Right.
this student happened to see this data, came up with this theory, spoke to a lot of other experts, and then just a year later, this is the result.
What do we do with that info, do you think?
Well, this is going to be important for understanding how our magnetic fields work, and this is all about communications, basically.
Yep.
At the end of the day, these kind of things affect your communications, satellite as well as radio. So there's a big economic incentive for getting this right, but just the simple fact of you have a telescope that's so capable and you can see things about our own Earth, let alone these distant galaxies.